Now, the moment we've all been waiting for. And it's coming right up. You're going to hear a roar of the crowd, and believe me, you will never, ever forget it. Are you ready?
Challenge, and if the Bears, listen, they won the game. They're 13-2. I don't want to take away from that.
They scored 34 points. Look at the points they're scoring. They can stay on the field with almost anyone.
Offensively, they're good, although 2 fumbles gave them a bunch of points. Caleb fumbled Williams early in the game.
They still had 474 yards.
Yeah, well, the offense
last week.
All three phases.
Last week.
We're not terribly concerned about the offense. It's the defense that concerns us. And without,
I know, but people were complaining about the offense. Like, oh my God, they didn't score the first 2 possessions.
They scored 42 stinking points.
I agree. I didn't understand. How can anyone complain about their offense?
I told you, when your team is good, people expect you to blow them out every week, and if you don't, then something's wrong. And it isn't necessarily wrong. The other guys are good. And the Bears moved on them. They revealed that the Lions' defense is not what we'd like it to be or what it was, but the Lions had a big enough lead to hold them off. So, the better news is that it looks like Washington is going to beat Philadelphia, and they lost Jalen Hurts early in the game. He hit his head on the ground on it being tackled. If he can't come back, if he can't finish the season for Philadelphia, then the Lions have a very good shot at the #1 seed, and they finished the season against Minnesota.
Because Philadelphia is winning now, by the way.
They came back.
You didn't see the long field goal.
No, shucks. What did they have?
Partial score.
29.
Don't worry about it. I'll let you know what happened.
All right.
What's the Jalen Hurts diagnosis? Do we know?
Well, he's in concussion protocol, so he couldn't finish today's game. We don't know whether he's going to come back or not. I guess that they have to see how it works out during the week.
Are you rooting for a long-term injury for Jalen Hurts?
No, I'm rooting for a short-term injury for Jalen.
Exactly. just a few weeks.
I'm kind of rooting for an injury. He's whatever he is, he is. Me rooting against it or for it is not going to make him injured worse.
I'd love to see him come back stronger next year and be out for the rest of this year.
And Brandon, when defenses try and take out the quarterback and hurt him, are we supposed to be, the compassionate ones? So, but
great comment.
Nobody cares about our injuries.
Yeah.
So this is good. They're 13-2. They play Monday night next week at San Francisco. 49ers play this afternoon. Not sure how they play Seattle. I think they could lose that game.
The Vikings play Seattle.
But Vikings play Seattle. That's right. The Vikings could lose to Seattle potentially.
San Francisco's at Miami.
Yeah, and then and then the Lions play them next Monday, and the Lions finish here against Minnesota. So it's really in their hands. If they can win these last 2 games, that'll eliminate Minnesota, even if they win tonight, from having the same record as they do. And also if Philadelphia goes on to lose this game, or if Hurts can't come back. So they're still in very good position to get the #1 seed, which would then give them a chance to get some guys healthy. Who could come back for the playoffs if they miss if they get a bye the first round, which means they wouldn't play until January 19th, which is basically a month from now. It's amazing when you think about that, because once they get past these last 2 games. So we'll see. But JMO had a great What did you say?
82 yards?
What a
Beautiful.
But the first series, remember he was fined, or they cost them a first down when that Tyreek Stevenson, when he called him a bitch ass something or other on the out of bounds play.
That's the same guy too. He had the taunting penalty for, was that Thanksgiving? Yeah, same exact guy.
And then today, first series, he apparently taunts him, and it didn't look like anything, but the ref was standing right there. So he said it close enough to the ref.
That woman.
Yeah.
Well, being so stupid. You're stupid. No, you're stupid. You're stupid.
That female official was offended.
This is the problem. There's no learning curve with JMO. There just seems to be no learning whatsoever. What? And he's just worth it because he produces a lot.
What are you talking about? Didn't you see Campbell talk to him and he learned, and then he caught an 82-yard touchdown?
That big talked to him after the game last time, too. Remember? He said, it's already been taken care of. He addressed the team.
Exactly.
And he kind of lectured him on the sidelines, looking mad, and then at the end, he kind of patted him in the back like everything's okay. So he really treats JMO with kid gloves.
Well, you have to. He's a child.
It's a child.
I mean, he is actually, I think, 140 yards away from having a 1,000-yard season, which is Great progress, no question. But I mean, I just have reached a point where you just accept all the other stuff, and it's not going to change.
Right.
the comment, there's a comment that says you have JMO derangement syndrome. Good comment, AB.
And again, not to denigrate.
You're accusing me of waking and baking with Eli too. I'm a little tired today. Sorry. Not wake and bake.
Yeah, but nothing wakes you up more than your hatred for JMO.
Do not hate JMO.
After the touch, I go, well, it's a perfectly thrown ball.
Well, he dropped one last week.
Yeah, he's learning. There's his learning.
He's
curve.
won for his last two.
He's learning.
He is one of several really dynamic players they have. You've really got to admire this Lions offense. JMO, St. Brown, Gibbs,
Laporta, huh? How about that?
Yeah. You got a touchdown today.
Gibbs.
But again, the Lion defense, don't think it's better now because they held the Bears to 17 points. The Bears committed 10 penalties for 70 yards. They're awful.
Almost 400 yards, too. I think 394, maybe.
The Bears aren't good. So what do you measure them by? What Vegas thinks is going to happen? And the Lions covered, right? So that's a good win.
Right. Yep.
I'm being serious. That's not a bad win.
That was good.
Well, we should talk about a few plays. For one, the touchdown to Laporta. Gibbs fell down on purpose.
Beautiful forward roll, a little somersault he did. Yeah.
It was totally fake if you watched it. And it looked like, did Goff stumble intentionally?
Yes.
I think he did.
Oh, yeah.
Intention?
100%. Nope. Yep.
They're
And
great at
so
that stuff, man.
Everybody just forgot about Laporta. Now, I saw this lengthy explanation of a play the Lions used on the 3-yard line against Green Bay when they were trying to score on 4th down. And you see in the huddle that St. Brown is in the back of the huddle, which is not where he normally is. And he's also bending over. And when he gets in position behind Goff, which is not where he usually is, he's also bending over. And you can see the Green Bay guys scrambling to find St. Brown.
Because the normal guy that would cover him, I think, went with Gibbs, who split out.
Wow,
so he was
a
trying
good
to
move.
He's trying to get him to come back, and by the time they realized their mistake, they both go with St. Brown, which left Patrick open, right?
And they identify him by their number. They couldn't see his number; he was bent over.
This is more the ingeniousness or the ingenuity of Ben Johnson, who was today. There's must mentioned 4 or 5 times that he's rumored to be the Bears coach next year. And Mark and I are saying, why would you do that? Look at how awful they are. Why not just be the offensive coordinator here another 2 or 3 years?
I guess there's about 3 million more reasons why, right? Wouldn't you
so.
get about 5-6 million to coach the Bears?
There's still the Lions can pay him that to be their offensive coordinator, can't they?
Not really. There's
doubt they would,
there's a certain cap.
Oh,
on
they
that
could,
stuff.
but will they? I doubt it.
I think he's worth it.
Well, he may be, but I think the salaries kind of follow a pattern, like the head coaches. Rarely, all the top ones are basically the same amount of money. I mean, look at college. $9.5 million was the figure that I think Mel Tucker established, or maybe Kirby Smart, and then they all get $9.5 million. So it goes up incrementally. I don't think you take an offensive coordinator that normally makes 1.5 and give him 3.
You could make him the highest paid offensive coordinator in the league. You'd pay him $2 million a year, and maybe say, "Hey, look, you don't have the pressure."
I'm sure they'll try and do that.
Although, side note, did you see a lot of, not a lot, but there's a handful of college coaches that are giving money back for so they can pay the players.
Oh, really?
Like Mike Norvell, who won 2 games this year and had just a terrible year at Florida State, I think is giving like $4 million back this year to go into the pot to pay the players. Yeah.
What?
There's like 2 or 3 other coaches that are like, I think, and they tend to be coaches with high contracts. Mike Gundy's another one who is giving money back to pay players because Oklahoma. That's my favorite drop because Oklahoma State was so bad this year, and they don't want to fire these coaches because then they'd have to pay them a lot of money. So they go, "Can we renegotiate your contract?"
And if you're a coach with a $100 million contract, which is really what it comes out to, and you're making 9.5 years, they all got 6, 7, 8 year contracts.
Yeah.
To have that great player to enable you to win for an extra $500,000. I can see why they do it.
Sure.
But it's they want everybody.
Players going to give any money back when they don't have a good year?
No.
No, they're not.
Alabama Athletic Director Greg Byrne this week challenged Bama fans. He says other teams using promises of $1 million paydays to lure away our players or convince them not to come to Alabama. Now's the time for action and for Bama Nation to fight back. In other words, don't make end-of-the-year donations for hunger, pets, cancer, Alzheimer's. Join the billionaires and pitch in.
Yeah.
I know we're not done with the Lions yet, but I just want to say this is ridiculous that this idea that it's up to the fans to pay the players. They have more than enough money. I mean, this is absurd to start with.
Isn't it?
Well, yeah, but
the
it's
beginning
capped.
was ridiculous. That you guys pay the players, we'll keep all the rest of the money.
Yeah. But this is where the NCAA messed up, too, because now it's capped. They can only pay
Well,
$20
that's
million.
their fault. They shouldn't have
Exactly.
capped it at $20 million. So, the fans can pay the rest. Why
that's
can
not
the
even
fans
final,
pay the
man.
fucking players? That's ridiculous.
Yeah.
Especially when you got billionaires like Larry Ellison just throwing $10 million at one player. And so, but you know what? Fans want to believe that they're part of it. And if you send your $25, then you feel like you're part of this team.
Well, schools,
that you're helping out.
Schools are going to start recruiting billionaire fans. They're going to start throwing out the red carpet to get these guys and love their teams and to throw some money at them.
If that's the case, the Ivy League football teams would be massive.
Liberty,
Maybe they
right?
will.
Liberty, too, because all the money there. Well, that's happening at SMU. I mean, make no mistake about it, why SMU is good all of a sudden with all the transfers they got coming in, because there's a lot of billionaires that support SMU.
Well, one of the first things I read about Bill Belichick was that Bill Belichick has a lot of very wealthy friends.
Yeah.
And that's one of the advantages of hiring him.
Sure. Paying him 10. That's right. You just raised it to $10 million now. So he's never coached a game in college football. I think it's a 5-year, $50 million contract. But
I think it's going to pay off one way or another. I'm not sure exactly how. I mean, he's a great coach.
oh yeah, no, it's a great story. I'm anxious to see how it turns out.
Do we want stats on the game today?
Yeah.
And do we want to do games around the league too?
Yeah.
what else happened?
What's happening here in Washington? Are
Fascinating.
they're 30.
Don't spoil it.
Oh, geez. Okay.
I'll-
They got the ball though. Look, they're down by 5.
yeah.
I'm
Washington.
Well,
going to
it'll
jinx
be-
it by saying what the score is. No.
It'll be over soon enough. For the Lions, Goff was 23 of 32 for 336 and 3 touchdowns. So that's
What was his rate? What was his QBR?
137.
Pretty damn good.
Not bad. So he's got, let's see, about 830 yards passing the last 2 weeks, 8 touchdowns and no picks.
Yeah.
Jameer Gibbs, 23 carries for 190 yards. I'm not happy Montgomery's hurt, but I'm excited about Gibbs getting more action.
How about that one drive before the half? I think it was Gibbs, run, pass to Gibbs, run to Gibbs, run to Gibbs, run to Gibbs. And then it actually worked. They got the Bears to jump offside on 4th and 1.
Yeah.
That was great because they didn't have to snap it before the 2-minute warning.
No, but that was one of those things too where I wasn't so certain the Lions were actually going to go for it there on 4th and 1, but because they do so often, the Bears couldn't just go, oh, they're trying to draw us offside.
No. Craig Reynolds had 4 carries for 18.
Craig!
Jamar Jefferson, 3 carries for 12. Jameson Williams, 1 for 7. Jared Goff, 1 for -1. Jameson Williams, 5 catches, 143 yards. So he averaged 30.
That guy's great.
82 on one of them, though. Yeah.
Love this guy.
He also
One
had that great
touchdown,
run on that crazy reverse,
7 yards.
Yeah.
which should have been a fumble at one point.
Amon-Ra St. Brown had 6 catches for 70 yards. He had a touchdown. Gibbs, 4 for 45. So Gibbs had 154 yards rushing and receiving.
They were throwing all kinds of stats on the board about he's in Lions history the most 70 yards from scrimmage in consecutive games.
And
the
no one's
most
ever done that
Barry
the first
Sanders.
14 games of the season. I was
Seems
surprised to
strange,
see
doesn't
that.
it?
Yeah, so Barry must have had one really crap game every year mixed in there.
Against the Packers.
Sam Laporta was 4 for 43 with 1 touchdown.
Yeah.
What a huge touchdown that was.
2 catches for 20. Jamar Jefferson, 1 for 10. Craig Reynolds, 1 for 5. And then on the Bears side, they had a lot of yards. Williams had 26 for 40 for 334. That's about what he did
And they
last
had
time.
nothing the first period and a half. Zilch.
That dude is
Just
going
like
to be
last time.
He's going to be very good.
He's going to be
So
exceptional.
emotional. He gets so upset at
The
times.
Bears shot themselves in the foot.
Don't you remember him crying at USC?
Yeah, that's
He's
right.
pretty good at running the ball, too.
He
a good player.
doesn't he look and have the feel of Patrick Mahomes in a way, the way he extends plays.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
He's number 1 pick.
Yeah.
334 yards passing, 2 touchdowns, no picks. He had 6 carries for 34. Swift, 9 for 20. Well, we don't miss him, do we?
Nope.
Rashawn Johnson, 1 for 3. DJ Moore, 1 for 2. Keenan Allen had 9 catches for 141. He had a
I missed
couple
that.
great catches.
And ridiculous.
Roma
Dunze.
Dunze, 4 for 77. DJ Moore, 7 for 68. Swift, 3 for 33. Cole Kmet, 2 for 9 and a touchdown.
Come on.
Everyone 1 for 6. And did you say the Lions, did they have 1 sack? Is that all they had?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Muhammad got the sack. It's
Oh, they had 2 sacks. They gave Muhammad a sack, and they gave Mulafwan number 6 a sack.
It just came back, right? Didn't
Yeah,
it?
I'm surprised he didn't make the team this year, huh?
No, he was hurt.
Well, they brought
He was
him.
hurt.
Yeah, he was hurt, and they brought him back when they cut the guy who got busted for drunk driving.
That's right.
Oh,
Whoever that
What
was.
drunk driving? Get out of here!
yes.
They make it. All the stories make it sound like that's what happened, but I think it was more about bringing Fanu back.
And Tom Kennedy also back in
Yeah.
the roster, number 85.
You must have been pumped. He's white.
He no more pumped than you were.
I like him, man. I think he's a
No,
great,
I like in
fun
exhibition.
player.
He
Yeah.
would always catch like 5 a game in exhibition. Then he never makes a team until 3 years ago. Goff's first year, he did have some catches. He was on the roster. At
He's one of those guys that manages to make the team every year and get his paycheck and never be a star. But
I guess what's practice squad pay? It pays a couple $100,000, doesn't it? At
no,
least?
it doesn't.
But he always
10,000 a
overperforms,
week.
like during the preseason too.
Yeah.
He's always getting multi-touchdown games in the preseason, and then he gets kind of forgotten about during the regular
I
season.
feel like if he played, he would just get some catches because he seems to get open.
They just took the lead.
It was a
All
great play.
right.
Yeah.
All right, we're not
I
in
know, I
favor
didn't
of
say anything.
partial scores
I didn't say anything.
on a
This
recorded
one's
show.
over. 6 seconds. 6 seconds left. They went up 34-33.
That's good.
Washington 34, the Eagles 33.
By the way, Washington's coach is running around with kick one. Like,
Yeah.
why not go for
Kidding.
2?
I mean, that's straight. That's true. You should go for 2.
Yeah. Oh, now they are going for.
Are they afraid of a safety?
I don't know. Or turning the ball over and then returning it, 92 yards for 2 points to lose 35-34.
I don't know why. Why would you ever go for one there? But then again, I don't know why anyone does anything half the time. I swear. Like yesterday when Penn State was on their own 20-yard line with 4th and a yard, and I'm like, "You're up 14-0. Of course you're going to kick the ball." And they're like, "Well, James Franklin." And of course they don't get it.
By the way, a 14-0 where their offense was doing nothing. Weren't those both pick sixes?
They were pick sixes, yeah. The
I know
offense
that
wasn't
made,
doing that much.
That made no sense.
He never. James Franklin is a
Franklin's the
terrible
worst
game coach.
And he is going to fumble his way and stumble his way into probably a semifinal. I mean, they could beat Notre Dame, right?
Yeah, I think they could.
That's who they have, yeah.
I don't think they will, though, for some reason.
I don't think they will. Notre Dame's on a roll.
Were there any other scores around the league?
The Falcons are crushing the Giants, and that's they benched Kirk Cousins,
Right.
who's got the greatest agent in the history of the NFL. He's made $294 million. He's made one playoff game, and now they're going to cut him. They say they're going to cut so they don't have to give
bonus
him
coming
a
up,
$10 million
doesn't he?
bonus.
Yeah.
They will wind up paying him $100 million for 14 games. He had a $100 million guarantee.
Wow.
And he's going to be able to go sign with another team.
That's insane.
When quarterbacks screw up, it's just very expensive. Although Russell Wilson, who was the source of the worst trade considered in NFL history, the Broncos got him for 2 number 1s, 2 number 2s, and more. And yet he's thriving again with the Steelers. Though he didn't play well. Though he gave up 2 turnovers yesterday.
Mm-hmm. The Rams beat the Jets 19-9. Bengals beat the Browns 24-6, and also Colts a final 38-30 over the Titans, and the Cardinals and Panthers in overtime.
We might get a tie there, yeah.
Well, get ready, everybody, for your first Netflix Christmas on Wednesday. 2 games only on Netflix. They paid $75 million each. Here's a network that said it had no
$75
interest.
million for each game?
They paid $75 million for each game. No. Exclusive at 70. Was it for each one? No, 70, maybe $75 million for the 2
day?
games.
Yeah.
The 2 games on Christmas
Still
Day.
seems like a lot.
Well,
For the rights to 2 games?
not to them. They got a capitalization of $400 billion. And this is, trust me, CBS, Fox, NBC, they are worried because Netflix has got big dough. Streaming is where it's all headed towards. And if they get into live television, their only event so far was the Tyson Paul bout that was reviewed very poorly, especially by you, who got glitches and freezing.
Yeah. It wasn't just me. A lot of people had that.
Yeah, but the traditional powers are scared shitless.
Yeah, because the NFL doesn't care about anything but money.
Right.
So,
Yeah.
But does it matter to you where the game is? I mean, does that...
I'd rather it was on. I'd rather it was on a network because I don't like going in and out of streaming.
It's the
This
worst.
is an absolute brilliant move because there's going to be so many family gatherings, and if they're at a house that doesn't have Netflix, someone's going to say, "Well, just use mine," and they'll log in there, and then or I'll get you a subscription right now. Boom, this is going to work.
Well,
Everybody's going to watch football on Christmas.
Remember,
Absolutely.
it used to be everybody watched the NBA on Christmas Day. Like, remember the NBA owned Christmas
Yeah.
Day?
Yeah.
And not so much anymore, man.
The ratings are down. I guess since 2019, 50%.
Are you talking about the NBA?
Yeah, they're down 28%
it's
just this season.
Amazing. They're down. Yeah, the stats here are wild on that. It's down 28% over last year. Playoff viewership was down 12%. They say it's Adam Silver at this ridiculous tournament with the painted floors in the middle of the season said it was stylistic, and it's true. They're shooting so many There were 48 made threes in a game last week. Barkley, too, said that, these three-point shots there's just too many
It's
of
taking
them.
over the game.
And yet, this week, the Golden State Warriors were valued at $9.14 billion, second only to the Cowboys in franchise valuation. The Knicks worth $8.3 billion, so it's shooting up. It's a 15% rise in the value of the franchise, despite a 28% decrease in ratings. So it's one of those strange things.
Okay, so I don't understand. They're saying that the three is making people go, I don't want to watch the game. I hate these threes. I thought people liked threes.
They like threes and dunks.
They only like a certain amount of threes.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
It's all 3-pointers and dunks.
All the games
just
are
like
looking the same.
Just like baseball, everybody likes home runs and strikeouts, but when that's all it is, it's kind
So
of
75 threes a game is
that the reason that people think is the biggest reason for the decline is the 3-point shot?
That's what LeBron James recently said. He attributed it to the
I
three-pointers.
would counter with there's not many great new superstars in the league that are American grown, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense. Also, people change teams all the fucking time.
Another theory. I don't. Do you read Outkick? Outkick's a website, right?
Yeah, sure.
Hey, Travis. It says the NBA has destroyed its brand with a large percentage of the sporting public embracing woke, political, far left-wing messaging in its games. Blames the league's politics, calling the NBA the original Bud Light. But the football.
I think it's part
football,
of it.
but
I don't
football's not
think
getting
it's-
hurt by
it's
it.
not
No,
everything.
Well, football's different though.
Football is not as woke as basketball. It's just not. I mean, basketball players were wearing the victims of police shootings' names on their jersey.
Yeah, that's good. You're right. That's crazy.
That was the dumbest thing.
Speaking of the dumbest thing, I went to a Piston game this week, and I'm not going to tell you which member of the broadcast team gave me two shitty seats in the corner of the arena. And so I'm used to better treatment than that. But anyway,
Where were the seats?
It was kind of in the corner of the end zone and
On the lower level?
Lower level, but still
aren't that bad.
No, and you got the video boards, but there's music playing all the time. The game starts, you don't even know it's back half the time. The entire center section across from the benches was completely empty. Now I don't know whether two sections,
Really?
like this stripe of empty seats from the floor all the way up. I think they belong to the clubs or something, but there's nobody sitting there.
Wow.
It's kind of a deathly arena.
In other words, they can't give away the tickets. Nobody wants them.
No.
Nobody shows up when they don't use them.
But if you go online, you can buy lower bowl tickets to the Piston games for $15. That's the reason I was pissed. I get two free
15?
tickets, only $15.
And you could have had good seats. Wait, $15?
Yeah,
For good seats. So you can pay a lot less than what you'd pay if you bought them from the
Well,
Pistons.
no, I'm saying $15 for lower bowl, but not the ones right by the court. But yes, you can go to a Piston game, sit in the lower bowl for $10 or $15.
What's the price on the ticket? It's got to be $50
I don't know.
at least, right?
I don't know. I would imagine so.
Wow.
Mine didn't have
They're
a
not
price on
that
it.
bad. I mean, they're better.
No, they're improving, but it's just a bad show. And there's something about Little Caesars Arena. I don't know. Is it the lack of sound? Is it the sound? It's dead in there sometimes.
I gotta say, I do like it for concerts,
Oh, yeah,
but that's all I've seen there.
the audio is great.
I just don't know as a in terms of the Red Wings or Pistons. I can't really say. I haven't heard a lot of people complain about it. No one goes to the Pistons games. The Red Wings fans show up.
Yeah.
They'll show up anywhere though.
And it was listed at 17,000, and I'm thinking, you guys,
I know, that's
kidding, man.
it's so hilarious.
17,000. Shit. Anyway.
They couldn't sell out opening night in the arena. The first game ever played there was not so, I mean, it was sold out, but I mean, it was very empty.
Very African-American crowd. I haven't seen that in a long time since they played at Cobo. And, you know, but it was all people at the margins. There weren't a lot of people where the expensive seats are. And whether those are sold in advance or people aren't coming, I don't know. But I tell you what's frustrating is they were so close. They finished last 2 years in a row to get the first round pick. And here you got Wembayana, who was just tearing up the league, the 7'3" or 4" inch.
Once again, here's a guy from France. How many people know him that well? You know what I mean? He's the new superstar, but is he the most exciting new superstar?
He's pretty exciting. 30 points, 10 blocks, 4 trays.
It's not like LeBron or D Wade.
Right.
You know, these guys that came up through America and through the
Steph Curry.
Right.
Steph Curry, yeah, they all. You know, Steph Curry had that great run in the tournament. People get to know you in college.
He's not helping the ratings.
Yeah.
We can talk about the college football games yesterday.
Yeah, boy, that was
What a snooze
what a
fest.
dud. What a dud.
They should just go back to the way it was.
None of them were close. And I had a terrible week betting. Terrible. I took Indiana. Stupid.
That was dumb.
I was fooled by Kurt Signetti's bullshit.
Drew, do you know what this monster did, by the way? He took the under in a
I
game.
know.
What?
How can you root for an under?
What? You're sitting there
the
rooting
only
against
human I know
points?
that would do that.
I just figured it's
Why don't you go to the casino and bet on the pass line while you're at it?
it's 15 mile an hour winds, 20-degree wind chill. The Bears haven't scored a touchdown in the first half in 4 games. They finally got one today. I figured the Pistons would 41-0.
You took the under
I'm
today.
sorry, I'm saying
too.
the Lions. The Lions.
Yeah, but didn't you take the under on Notre Dame as well?
No,
Oh,
no,
okay.
I took it,
I
yeah.
thought you
Okay,
took the Notre Dame.
I just want to say about the Ohio State game. I could not believe that was the same quarterback that Michigan played against.
Right.
He was so accurate.
The same
His throws
team.
were so perfect. Yeah, I know the team. I think that game may have been the best thing could have happened to Ohio State. I know that might sound ridiculous, but did it wake them up possibly?
Well, it's interesting.
ass off
Yeah,
last
It woke up their play calling.
Sure it did. Yeah. Chip
And
Kelly.
I couldn't believe how accurate his throws were. They were just, I mean,
because he's not
beautiful.
that bad of a quarterback.
No, he's a good quarterback. What happened against Michigan, nobody can explain.
Yeah, they
How
tried
awful
to
were.
tried to out tough Michigan and run the ball in the middle against a really good defensive line. Tennessee has a good defensive line, and what did they do? They threw it around them.
Yeah. And Ryan Day may be back in play. You know, the week after the Michigan game, all this stuff coming out of Columbus. You know, the boosters, we're not going to pay them $37 million buyout. You know, we don't have we don't have the stomach for that, and the fans are calling for his head. And I think he may stick around. We'll see what happens.
I think he kind of needs to win the championship.
You think so?
Yeah, kind of.
You think if he loses to Oregon, that's not enough to keep him around?
Maybe how he loses, we'll see.
First of all, I think they'll beat Oregon. I think they can beat Oregon.
I don't think anybody can beat Oregon.
They should have beaten them last time. They were in line for a field goal. They got a penalty that knocked them out of field goal range, and then the guy ran into the zero.
Yeah, he needed to slide a
He
second
ran
earlier.
that draw up the middle, and he put his knee down. There was 0 on the clock, so they couldn't kick the field goal.
I don't know. They're pretty damn good, though.
I just hope the games are better next week because Ohio State routed Tennessee 42-17. Clemson, Texas. It's still Clemson came on, but
it was okay.
But it was never really in doubt. And Penn State was ridiculous what they did to SMU. So all these coaches, like the Ole Miss coach Kiffin and Alabama DeBoer, these teams at 9-3 were certainly better than Indiana, I think, and better than SMU. But that's not the way the playoff works. They put the conference champions in there.
Well, what they really need to do is seed them accordingly, right? Why is Arizona State 4? Why is Boise 3rd? Because they have the rule that you have to be a conference champion to get that bye, and it's a stupid rule.
It is. They should. Well, but the reason they have the rule is that the top 12 teams would probably all be from the Big Ten, and the SEC, and they don't want that.
Well, no, I like having conference champions in. I think that's fine, but they shouldn't get automatic buys. That's dumb. Why is Boise playing? Why does Boise get a bye, and Penn State and Texas play this week?
They're trying to make the regular season matter, and it
does matter. It matters for your season.
But I mean, in terms of who wins the conference, who cares about the conference?
Yeah, right.
Well, I don't know.
In fact, the conference championships are kind of a waste now because now that you got the playoff, you don't.
I mean, does anybody remember who won the SEC in 2018, or anyone care?
No,
Maybe
but
they do it down there.
admit the ACC championship this year meant something. It got Clemson into the playoffs.
Well, yeah, I mean that matters. But I'm just saying,
Listen, the whole,
I think they're just trying to make the champion of the conference mean something and give them this better position.
It's such a mess. I mean, look what Alabama begging for money. The NCAA lost another suit this week. Diego Pavia of Vanderbilt sued them and won because he had played 3 years of junior college ball, and they wanted to count that as years. Yeah. And junior college isn't even part of the NCAA. So
not only that, if you played a different sport in the NCAA, that wouldn't be counted.
Wait, so what does that mean? He played 3 years of college football.
But it's junior college isn't NCAA football. It's junior college football. They're not part of the NCAA.
They're not subjected to the NCAA.
So you can play junior college for 5 years and then go play 4 years in the NCAA.
Yes,
That's what he's fighting, yeah.
Who'd want to do that, though? Nobody would want to do that.
Well, I'd want to do it if I can get $1 million like Pavia is, because he's not going to get it in the pros.
You think you're going to get? Well, you're not going to make any money in junior college ball, and if you're good, you're going to be outclassing everybody. That doesn't make any sense.
So you wouldn't be there for 4 years if you were worth a shit.
Are you telling me he just got 3 more years of eligibility?
I think one more because he spent 2 years at
well, they should get
New
2
Mexico
years.
State.
If it doesn't count, he should get 2 years. Why only get 1 year?
He can sue for that too because the NCAA gets kneed in the nuts on everything they do. There's 3 in the last year. The West Virginia court made it possible for athletes to transfer a second time. That didn't exist before they lost that one. And then with the Tennessee's quarterback, Imaleva, whatever his name is, the Tennessee court overruled that. No, you can pay college kids or high school kids. Why shouldn't you be able to? So it's a mess. So
yeah, they're going to be raising money. They're going to be begging fans for money for high school players before long.
That Herbstreit drop reminded me, the Ohio State fan base is so mad at Kirk Herbstreit today.
Oh, what are they mad about?
At the end of the game last night, he was talking about the lunatic fringe fans in Columbus, and because that's part of the reason he left Columbus and moved. I want to say to Nashville or outside Cincinnati, somewhere.
He really couldn't handle the Ohio State fans.
They were such dicks to him. He's like, fuck this place, and he left.
Wait,
that was a big part of it.
Why would they be so dicky to Herbstreit?
Because they're a nutty fan base. I mean,
his son went to Michigan. That's why.
His son did just commit to Michigan too, so I'm sure that's part of it too. Well, he has no problem.
Yeah.
And he picked Michigan to beat Alabama. He's the only one besides Desmond to take them.
His kid's not going to play at Michigan, isn't he? A quarterback?
Yeah, he ain't going to play.
Probably not.
They got a guy for $10 million.
Well, but they still are looking in the portal for another quarterback. And there's plenty of them
Michigan
out there.
is?
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah. The Maryland guy. They were looking at.
Isn't this guy going to start automatically?
Not automatically.
No.
I think, listen, no, they got. I'm telling you, he's already earned his money. The players leaving other schools to come to Michigan because of him. They got the defensive lineman Damon Pitt.
Yeah, but if he doesn't play next year, they're going to go right back in the portal because they're not going to be that much better.
Well, you may have something there.
Well, I guess unless you get another good quarterback. I thought this guy was a guaranteed starter.
No,
I don't
not
think
at all.
He could be, but they're not going to take a chance.
And I think Maryland's quarterback, the one who they're talking about coming, has just a year left anyway. So
I don't know. I gotta say, I don't understand paying like an Arch Manning $3 million a year to sit on the bench for 2 years. What?
Yeah.
I mean, and the Michigan guys do the same thing.
Well,
that's kind of weird.
What? Now he replaces Quinn Ewers, and that makes perfect sense. So it's what we're seeing now.
Wouldn't he have rather played though?
Well,
Wouldn't he rather started somewhere?
I think he may have thought he could beat out Ewers, didn't he?
Yeah,
he thought he could. He probably could.
Exactly, and now one of them's going. They're not both going to be at Texas next year.
Did he redshirt last year, Manning? Did he get an extra season? But it doesn't matter because he'll still have 5 years to play 4 seasons, so he can still play 2 seasons, which is all he needs.
Is Quinn Ewers coming back for sure?
No, he's not coming back. He's a senior, isn't he?
No, he's another year of eligibility.
Got another year of eligibility. He could either go in the draft,
he'll probably,
or he could transfer. I think he's going to transfer somewhere.
Maybe.
A lot of noise about it.
Don't know.
I don't know why you wouldn't. If he's a marginal first-round pick, though, wouldn't you rather go in the first round and have a 4-year deal than 1 year where you could have a shitty year again?
Well,
but you bet on yourself, and you don't think you're going to have a shitty year. You're going to improve your draft stock while you're making the same amount of money for that 1 year.
You wouldn't want to bet on yourself in the NFL?
Well, if we're still talking about Manning, he's going to play. You're right.
Ewers, actually.
If Ewers comes back, then Manning has made a big mistake. Don't you think?
Oh yeah.
Because now he's down to 1 year, and if Ewers comes back,
I don't
he'll
think Texas.
transfer.
I don't think Texas wants Ewers back, which sounds insane. I think it's Manning.
Well, they got a guy making $3 million for the 3rd year. How can they sit him on the bench?
I would think he's been promised something, don't you think? Manning.
If you practice for 2 years and you don't practice that well, they don't really give a shit.
Manning should just go to North Carolina.
Manning looked pretty good when he played.
He should just transfer to play for Belichick.
Yeah, well, there was a rumor that Belichick, that they were going to throw a big pile of money at Ewers or Manning, one or the other.
Well, he's got the Manning family connection.
But these quarterbacks are obviously in high demand. They're all going to make a lot of money if they're any good. And Manning's going to, it's not about the money. He's making plenty, and he only needs to play 2 years. I think he's fine to stay at Texas. Great program. Well, should we talk about the sad story of Rickey Henderson?
Oh,
what a sad story.
Bummer.
How did he die, by the way?
Pneumonia. And he was there at the end of the season. He was there. They had Rickey Henderson bobble night in September in Oakland. He was there when they closed the stadium. I mean, he was the greatest leadoff man and base stealer in history, played 25 years, a very unique player. Reggie Jackson said yesterday one of the top 10 or 12 of all time.
The combination of power and speed, because he could hit for power.
He was just
20 homers a few times.
Greatest leadoff man ever. And not only did he just steal bases and set the record, but he has his 1,406 career steals are 468 more than Brock. And was it in 1991 he passed Brock and made his famous speech. Brandon, you got some of that?
A 1-0 deficit. Rickey goes. A pitch taken. He's going to have it. He does. Rickey Henderson, no contest, steals third base, jerks the bag from its moorings, and holds it aloft, representing number 939.
Luke Brock was a symbol of great base stealing, but today I am the greatest of all time. Thank you.
Good for you, Rickey. Yeah. He spent 4.5 years after he set the record of 130 in 82. They traded him to the Yankees in 84. Just a little personal note, if I can, that I was there in 86 working in New York, and the Yankees were under pressure all the time. They kept on winning 90-plus games in the 80s, but the AL East was so good. You had the Orioles in 83, the Tigers in 84, the Blue Jays in 85. You get to 86, and George Steinbrenner is just busting a gut, ripping his team, even though they're in first place, but it isn't good enough for him. And so the players are very, very distant. Nobody wanted to talk because there's a lot of criticism and a lot of heat on him. But Rickey would. He was a good guy. He would do interviews. He would come out of the dugout for you. I was very impressed because he was as big a star as they had, and I really appreciated him for doing interviews while the others warily avoided the media. And
33 steal.
Well, at that point in 85, his first year there, he scored 146 runs. He hit 24 homers, 72 RBIs. He had 80 stolen bases, hit 314. He did a lot right. And then in 86 with the Yankees, he had 28 home runs. And then in 87, he was hurt, only batted 350 times. He had 17 homers, still stole 40 bases, hit 291. Some great all-around years then.
He scored more runs than anybody in baseball history.
Yeah. Is he number one in runs scored? Yeah. Okay. Yeah, 2,295. That's incredible.
So, when I would interview guys, he's standing right next to you, and you look in their eyes, and Rickey Henderson was shorter than me. I'm 5'11". Rickey was shorter than me, but he had the legs, he had the power, just a great athlete.
Great fielder, too.
Oh, yeah.
Great speaker.
Oh, yeah. The quote. So can we play a little from his Hall of Fame?
I think we should go back to his National Baseball Hall of Fame acceptance speech because the first few minutes are just fantastic.
Oh, great.
Wow.
Love Rickey Henderson.
Even if you have no idea what tense to use, you would think you would score close to 50%. He's like 20%.
That's rarely a problem. I can see, double negatives, but we all know what a plural is. It's very strange.
Well, he doesn't even know how to use the plural for San Diego Padres. He says San Diego Padre. San Diego Padre traded for me.
But he could run.
Of the San Diego Padre.
There it is.
Oh, what a great guy.
Speaking of quotes, did you see the Doug Gottlieb story this week?
Which one? There were two. I think the latter.
The one where
Northern Tech or Michigan Tech. Yeah.
He goes, I want to play better teams because it's 2 degrees outside. It's snowing. I don't really like the idea of nobody you coming here. What did we learn playing a game where we win by 20? Then, of course, nobody you, Michigan Tech, came and beat him, and a very, very embarrassing moment for him.
How does he coach a basketball team and do a daily talk show?
Ridiculous. They brought him
one
in.
of them was going to suffer.
Why does he? Why do they allow him to do a daily talk show? It seems like it would be a time commitment.
He had the talk show first. The school let him do it, I guess.
How long is his talk show?
He's on every day on ESPN. He's on ESPN radio every day.
Oh,
2 hours.
2 hours.
Yeah.
Wow.
The middle of the day, right?
It was a dumb experiment. He's a zero college coaching experience. Still does his radio show. He's 2-11 in last place in the Horizon League, and that was an embarrassment. Almost as embarrassing. Remember his famous move in college where he had his shorts on backwards when he played at Oklahoma State, I believe it was.
Really?
And he changed. He had his team stand around him and changed his shorts in the middle of the court. But he was a good college player. He finished ranks 10th all time in NCAA career assists. And my final thing is, when I go down to Florida next week, I really want to look good playing golf. And so I told you about the $1,100 Sunday Red.
Yeah, did you get one?
No, but I'm saving up. I'll give myself a $2,000 budget because that bag, the ergonomically designed EQ2 double strap self-adjusting 4-point swivel disc, with its head-turning look of blend of traditional shaping. Now the Cypress golf shoe, his special Cypress golf shoe, just came out last week. $275 for that. So that puts me up to $1,375. I'm trying to keep it under $2,000. And then I can get the $125 ball marker, the Cypress towel.
Ball marker?
The ball marker, $125. That's
24 karat gold?
It's designed with a sleek silver finish and made from durable materials that ensure long-lasting performance. You can get the plastic ones that are just as good for free. You stick your hand in and get a whole handful of them.
It was a penny.
Yeah. Well, what I started out with a $70 T-shirt. Premium fabrication, enhanced fit, iconic styling, luxurious soft feel, sewn with a meticulousness, care, and unwavering focus that has defined Tiger Woods' legendary career. Nothing's worse, by the way, than a 25 handicap, or in my case, 15 handicap, dressed like you really know what you're doing, and you shake one into the woods. I try and look as nondescript as possible on the golf course so people know I'm not showing off.
It's working for his boy. You see his kid in. It's got Charlie first ever hole-in-one today.
Yeah.
I was just curious.
Cool. Yeah.
Do you remember Trinity Rodman, Dennis Rodman's daughter? Was was she around when Dennis was around? I mean, she would have been little.
No. He had a daughter named Alexis here when he was here, but that was in the 80s.
Well, Trinity was on Call Her Daddy, and Dennis tweeted that week why you would tweet this. This is just so stupid. That he's sorry I wasn't the dad you wanted me to be. I will keep trying even when you are told as an adult not to respond to my calls. I wish my kids would call and come see me. And then he had a P.S. I watch you play all the time. Actually flew in to watch and was told not to show up. So I watched from my hotel balcony to make everyone happy. And then he goes on and on. Why on Twitter? Why would he not meet her, call her, visit her? Anyway, Call Her Daddy. Of course, this comes up, and she says, I'm done. Apology's a joke. I lived in a Ford Expedition because his lifestyle with random bitches was not suitable for me and my brother. So we had to, I guess, move with their mother.
Yeah.
And then he just said he's an alcoholic, and I'm just done with him and wash my hands of him.
Good for her.
Yeah, I kind of felt the same way, and I just thought it was pathetic that he felt he should tweet that.
Yeah.
So the world thinks, oh, Dennis is trying so hard.
He ignored her for the first 21 years of her life until she became a soccer star. Ridiculous.
Yeah, I guess she's quite good.
Oh, she's really good.
She is. National team, yeah. And I think he's the highest paid soccer player ever. Yeah. Anyway, since the FDA approved LASIK surgery about 25 years ago, 15 million Americans have gotten it. Custom LASIK that Dr. Yaldo offers is the most popular elective surgical procedure in the world. And LASIK boasts a remarkable complication rate of less than 1%. And Dr. Yaldo's rate is even better than that. And the bifocal implants, the Rolls-Royce of vision correction procedures, are stunningly and equally effective. Yet millions more who would benefit greatly are still fearful of either procedure. And it's understandable, but unfortunate, because to never need glasses again, contacts or readers, and see 20/20 or better at all distances is a gift that never stops giving. Dr. Yaldo offers our podcast listeners $2,000 off either procedure until year's end. Lock in your price for 2025 by signing up at YaldoEyeCenter.com or click the icon on the Drew Lane homepage, and I'll see you guys in 2025. Holy shit.
Get out of here.
Later.